There is peace in Bengaluru now after an evening and a night of violence that saw 3 people die in police firing. Joining us, Commissioner of Police of Bengaluru, Mr. Kamal Pant. Thank you very much for joining us, sir.
Thank you.
What is the situation now? And
It's perfectly peaceful. No incident after last night, and arrest procedure is going on, and investigation has already commenced in all the cases. So overall situation is peaceful.
how many people have been arrested so far?
We have arrested 110 people
110 people.
in one case and one person in another case.
In the other case,
Yeah.
against the one person on the social media post,
Social media.
and 110.
110.
And what are the charges against the 110?
Basically, the charges are violence, rioting,
Yes.
destruction of public property,
Yes.
and arson, preventing government servants from discharging their duties.
Okay.
All the sections are there.
All the sections are there.
Yeah.
And what are the details of the 3 people who died? Were they killed on the spot? Did they die later?
They all see the firing took place at the outside police station only.
Yes, yes.
When the mob refused to disperse even after tear gas, so they all were there. They are locals, except one person. The identity is yet to be established.
Still to be established, but 2 people are locals there.
Locals only, yeah.
And what is your estimate of the number of people who actually gathered in that mob?
See, it's very difficult to say exactly because there are lanes, by-lanes, and people were there all around. So, as I have seen the video, it must be something around 2,000, maybe 1 to 2,000, yeah.
Okay, that's very disturbing. And what was the time frame like, the timeline of the violence? When did it actually start?
So it started sometime around 8:30 DCP reached there.
Okay.
By the time people had come,
Yeah.
they had already gathered, and after that reinforcement arrived around 9 because that police station has a very narrow approach.
Yes.
And only one approach, and from that Periyar circle or Ambedkar circle there is one road which goes through a very congested locality.
Okay.
So there was lots of gathering inside that the crowd. There was a crowd in that lane, in that road, and then there was heavy stone pelting from both the sides, and there was no power at that time. So because it was dark also, so it took a lot of time for police to clear that area. So ultimately they reached there, and again there was some persuasion, and after that I think final action took place sometime around after that.
After that. And police were also injured. What is the situation for the police?
Yeah, there
How
was
many
very
of them?
heavy stone pelting, and police was many policemen and officers also.
How many were injured? How many have been injured?
Around 38 people have suffered injuries till now. Others may also be going to hospital. That we will come to know now.
Okay.
Yeah.
There were reports also of reporters actually being hit by police and being hit by police.
Yeah, no, but see, I don't think police had any issues with any reporters. They would not. I'm sure that no policeman would have knowingly assaulted any police journalist. I don't know, in melee or in some confusion, something of that sort happened. I certainly will look into it. If any details are provided to me, I will certainly look into it. And I don't think there was any issue regarding that, any issue of that type. I was very much there, and nobody brought this issue to my notice. If there is any, certainly we'll look into it.
There was a reporter who was actually
Okay,
hit by
certainly we will look into it.
And we just met leaders of the Muslim community who had a meeting with you also. They did appeal for peace, but they were also concerned, saying that the violence may not have escalated if their complaint over the social media post had been dealt with more quickly by police.
See, they had certain issues regarding arrests and this complaint and the social media posts. So they wanted to give a representation regarding that. They have come and they have expressed their grievances. So we will look into it in a very fair manner. That also we'll look into it. All these issues will be pursued simultaneously.
And many questions, of course, whether it was a spontaneous protest, whether it was organized. Is that also part of the investigation?
See, investigation will certainly look into related issues. So whatever is relevant and related would be certainly look into during the investigation. I don't want to comment on that at this stage. It's too premature for that. Yeah.
And the situation now is prohibitory orders and curfew in which places?
Curfew in DJ Haldi and KG Haldi area, where this violence took place last night. And in Bangalore, there is a general prohibitory order under section 144 CRPC.
And the violence happened in 3 areas, at the 2 police stations and at the MLA's house.
MLA's house is also in DJ Halli area, but very far off from there.
So 3 different locations.
Yeah, they are different. In a remote, yeah, it takes a longer time to reach there because circuitous route is there. So basically 2 police station limits.
And eventually, right now, situation is under control.
Under control, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. The Commissioner of Police there, Mr. Kamal Pant, talking about the violence that hit 2 parts of Bengaluru on Tuesday evening. Prohibitory orders in place in the city, curfew in 2 regions of the city. The situation now, he says, under control. With Govind Murthy, Maya Sharma in Bengaluru for NDTV.